Hi guys. So today, after I got a request, we'll check the traditional Rise of Rome 5 picks of 5 armies, 3 versus 3. Something that is played often in open real-time games. So first of all, when you start playing Rise of Rome, you uh, you are like a bottleneck said, you can be the kindly noob, which means you see that there are mega bonuses, so it's called magna bonuses, that are worth a lot of armies, and it is very tempting to put all 5 picks in one big bonuses to really take it fast. So, for example, in this game, um, light blue, you see here in Parta at the start, he had 4 picks of his 5 in Parta. He wasn't totally clustered, but he was almost all in Parta. And I will explain to you why it's not a good thing. So that's one thing that newbies often do on Rise of Rome, which is kind of really bad for the team because afterwards you'll see the situation is that the guy that is clustered cannot help his partners efficiently across the map. So if we go back here, I will go through each of the magna bonuses and maybe tell you why it's good and why it's less good for each of one. So let's start with Spain. So Spain on 3 versus 3 with 5 picks of 5, full distribution RoR without anything like wastelands or stuff like that. Uh, Spain is very tempting for the beginning, like for the beginners. People will think, well, if I get Spain afterwards, it's quite easy to defend, which is true because you only have like Pompeiello, Emporion, Baleares, and Tingis to defend once you have Spain. But the problem with Spain is the same problem you have with Parta. Uh, it's kind of isolated and really uh, it's really like at the very corner of the map. So yes, it's a good place if you get it, but the thing is if you get it, and even if you get it, it means that probably you were like very heavy in it, and it means probably that your teammates suffered while you were taking Spain. So you will often see people that are like kindly noobs that begin to play RoR. They will often go 4 or 5 picks in Spain. If they are lucky, they might even complete it. But in the meantime, you'll see that his or her 2 partners will get totally destroyed elsewhere on the map. So this is for Spain, and they're really like the picks that really are devastating for Spain are a pick in Aquitania in bottom France can very annoy Spain, and Carthago also is a very deadly pick for Spain. And you have also like the the west of Africa in general, so Mauritania or Numidia, even Narbonensis, all those picks that are peripheric to Spain are very deadly to it because once you have the bonus that is near Spain, let's say for example Aquitania or Narbonensis or Numidia or whatever, well, then you can enter Spain and expand elsewhere, while the guy that is in Spain is trapped there. And once you get in Spain, well, it's easy to just up around and destroy all of his income. So, in my opinion, Spain is extremely overrated. It's still a good place if you play like FFAs or something like this, but in 3 versus 3 RoR, it's extremely dangerous to go too much in Spain, in my opinion. Then you have Africa, which is something noobs often like neglect, but it's a very nice magna bonus because in particular you have two cities, so Alexandria and Carthago. Which one is the better? Well, it depends on your preferences. Mine is Alexandria because it really covers Africa, it covers Macedonia, it covers Asia, and you can also go to Parta if you really have a problem there, if one of your teammate has been killed in Porta. So Alexandria is a very useful pick. Not to mention that you can always combo if you want Alexandria with RC Moe. But that combo can be dangerous because I've picked that from a guy that was in MH. He was called Rice Pudding, and what he was doing is what he was picking Alexandria and RC Moe low, so he could get Hydrax, that is right over here where you see my mouse, and he was like countering on turn 1 Egypt. So yeah, but Alexandria is a very good pick. It's often a first pick for a lot of people. The other extremely good pick in Africa is Carthago because you can counter Italy. Even though Italy is almost never taken, it's still a place that where you can get income. And Carthago, his main purpose is to get to Spain and to really hurt Spain. Whoever is in Spain is really hurt by the guy that is in Carthago usually. And sometimes people will do like combo Carthago with Caesarea, which is something we'll see often as a combo. I don't really like it because it's too risky. If you lose Carthago, well, the pick in Caesarea is less useful, but that's just me. Um, and yeah, the Africa, like once you have it, it's hard to for people to counter you if you get it. It's hard to get, but if you get it, you have like Tingis, Caesarea, Carthago, Cyrene, and Alexandria to cover, which isn't that much if you consider that it's a plus 10 magna bonus. So yeah, it's a good place. It's a very good place to pick. You'll see so often people will take one pick in Africa inferior. Often it will be Sidamus, Sabrata, one of them. Usually people will pick in there. And then you have France, which is a bonus that is extremely neglected often by beginners, but people that are more experienced will tend to more like it. Um, I would say that Aquitania, Narbonensis, and especially Lugnensis Prima are often taken. Lugnensis Prima is really the bonus that you want the most in France usually because you can go to Magna Britannia quite easily, and you can ultimately also go to Spain if it's extremely needed. Although the path is a bit long. So Rotomagus in particular is taken almost each game when you play a high level type of game, or one of the three in it often taken. You'll see often people take two picks in Narbonensis, even though it's a bit risky because when you get Narbonensis, then you have to take Emporion to defend yourself against an eventual double border. I personally prefer Aquitania. Two picks in Aquitania I like because once I get it, I get a +3 on turn 1, and then I can just invade Spain quite easily. And I can also go to Lugnensis Prima if I need, and I can also counter Narbonensis from Aquitania if I have picks there. So it's something I like to do. I don't do it all the time, but I do often. You'll see after you have Magna Britannia, which Magna Britannia is a place that once you have it, it's extremely hard to break depending on the turn that you got it. But if you get it early in the game, it becomes a very good place to have, because you see here there's a +1, a +5, +3, +2, so in total it's worth 11 plus 5, 16. So it's 16 for 14 territories, which is more than one army per territory, which gives Magna Britannia an extremely high T ratio bonus. And but to be honest, like in a highly level game, usually people will not expand in UK. They will mostly counter it. Camulodunum is probably, well, for me, it's probably the city that is the weakest in Magna Britannia, because it's extremely hard to get Britannia the +5 here, because often people will take Caledonia and or Hibernia, and it's going to make Britannia extremely hard to make. And you also have the guy that is in Rotomagus usually that will be able to enter the +5. So it really, like in 3 versus 3, I don't like it much. I prefer it in 2 versus 2 because but it's not the same. It's not the same setting. So in 3 versus 3, 5 picks of 5, full distribution RoR, I don't really like it to pick it high. Usually I pick it not very high. And as you can see from my picks, you see here my 5th pick is in Camulodunum, and all my picks from 5 to 12 all cover UK. But as you can see, my picks 1, 2, 3, 4, and my 4 first picks are not in UK. This is extremely important to remember because in 3 versus 3 full distribution RoR, you will often want to cover the popular places. By popular places, I mean Britain, I mean Spain, and I mean Parta. But usually you don't want to have too much picks in those very popular bonuses. You want picks that are in places that are less popular so that you can expand safely. I put that in quotes because nothing is always safe, but it's relatively more safe to expand in places like I don't know, France or Italy or Colchis or even Asia compared to Parta, Spain, and Magna Britannia, which are often crowded, especially if you go against players that don't have a very highly I don't have a lot of experience on RoR. They will tend to pick too much on in those bonuses. So my suggestion would be pick 4 picks not in these places, and then everyone, each one of your team should have a very popular magna to cover. That means one guy will cover Spain, one guy will cover Britain, one guy will cover Parta with picks 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You put all you can to really make sure you have at least one pick, but your picks 1, 2, 3, 4, not in those very popular places, because if you do, well, probably you'll end up like not being able to expand that much, and you will fight a lot, and you'll probably not get the magna bonuses anyways. So it's kind of a waste. So here you see 2 picks that are extremely interesting in UK are Vespasiana and Dornini. So you see here my picks 7, 9. Both places are very nice because if you check at Vespasiana, it can go to Ibernia, it can go to Britannia, it is in Caledonia. So only with one pick, only with Vespasiana, you are near uh, three of important bonuses in UK. The only bonus you don't see is Camulodunum. So that's why it's a very nice pick. Um, most beginners will take Caledonia Inferior, or even highly experienced players will take it because it's a +2. So they think, well, I can do it in turn 1. So it's very bright to do it because you say, well, I can do it on turn 1. But the thing they don't realize is pro players will often take Caledonia Inferior pretty late, and they will take Darnini. So Darnini to counter Caledonia on turn 1 often. You will see when I advance the turns, you'll see what I'm talking about. So then you have Germany. Germany is a place that is sometimes neglected also, but it's a very nice place because you can go to Magna Britannia, and you can go to Illyricum also. And France, well, Belgica Superior and Belgica Inferior are not very popular picks. Often they are not taken at all. And Raetia in Italy is very rarely taken. Noricum is very rarely taken. Sarmatia is very rarely taken. So all the surrounding picks that are not in Germany are not often taken, although Caledonia Inferior again is a pick that people will take often. So there are many combinations that you can make in Magna Germania. Some will like maybe like taking Saxones with Lemovi, because that way you can see all of Germany on turn 1. You can see all the bonuses. Lemovi is an interesting place because like you see Germanicia and Germania Superior on turn 1. Um, Sometimes people will play it a bit safer They will take like Saxonis with Codania in order to make the +3 of Simbrica on turn 1. I've seen also people maybe going for Gymrania Inferior, which I'm not sure I like that much, but it's to each their preference. Um, in 2 versus 2 that I play sometimes, Bury and Ermandury are very nice together. But in 3 versus 3, I prefer to go safier. Maybe I go Codania Saxonis, or I go Burgundy with Sabosi. I sometimes do, like I said, Limovi with Saxonis. There's a lot, like I said, a lot of combinations that can make in Germany. You will see that the player that I played with, you see here the 2 picks. She decided to go Turtones and Ruji. Um, well, there's not, I don't think there's like optimal, always like they're comparing to other Magna bonuses. Magna Germania is more flexible where you can pick in, I think. But it's a place that I think you have to pick each game at least one pick or something. Like you have to have something there because it's very practical to expand in, and it's very practical to get that bonus. Even if you don't get it, it's a nice place to have. Afterwards, you have Magna Italia, which is almost impossible to do as a Magna bonus. But because it's almost impossible to do as a Magna bonus, it makes it appealing to expanding without really having the purpose of taking it. I do often like, I know it's risky, but I will pick maybe Roma as first pick. I will pick maybe pick 2 or 3 elsewhere, and then I will pick Pisenium and Bruzzi, so I can make Italia inferior on turn 1. People will not often take Apulia because it's a bad bonus. It's a 1 for 2. And if you get Rome, Picenum, and Bruzzi, well, you get like +6 really quick. And then you can have +2, and then you can just add +2, and you can really expand quick with that place. And like I said, Italy is extremely unpopular, so it makes it very nice to expanding. And one thing that people don't acknowledge enough is that Italy can go to Macedonia, Italy can go to Africa, Italy can go to Spain, Italy can go to France, Italy can go to Germany. Like Italy is a central position. You can go to Illyricum if you need. It's a very central position in the map. It's kind of like in chess when you get the middle cases. It gives a very strong position in the center. Um, but don't count too much on making the Magna Italia bonus. The thing is that makes me think is sometimes, like, well, most of the time, not experienced people will focus too much on making the Magna bonuses. And Rise of Rome is, there are some Magna bonuses, but the plan is not really to make the Magna bonuses, is more to have a strong position across the map and cover all of the Magna bonuses to make sure that no Magna bonuses can be made. If you check a really highly skilled game, you will see that it's extremely rare that one Magna bonus is made. And when it's made, often you will see that it's countered almost right away. Um, yeah. Afterwards, you have Illyricum. The picks that are extremely popular are Troesmus and Albona. Well, one of the three picks in the Istria bonus. They are almost always taken. I don't like that much to expand in Illyricum because it's a place that is kind of popular and the shape of the magna, well, uh, like the shape of it makes it vulnerable to all of the other magna like Germany, Italy, Macedonia. But it's still a place that you have to have at least one pick in it because it can really hurt you if you don't have. Um, Afterwards, you have Magna Macedonia, which is a very nice place to expand in. The plus fours are extremely nice to pick in. I will often go like two picks in like Pella or Stobi. I will sometimes do Pella with Athens, or I will see people do like, I don't know, Athens with Thebes. Whatever the combinations you do in the plus fours of Macedonia, it's almost always like a good thing to do to double pick a plus four in Macedonia. The plus five is it's a much more risky attempt if you do that because it's highly vulnerable, especially considering people will often take Troesmus. To counter Troesmus, sometimes people will take here, you see Praetoria Augusta. I've seen also people will go Venetia to counter Istria. Whatever you do, you have to cover really either taking directly a pick in it or taking something that will be able to counter it very quick. Then you have Krita, which is a 1 for 2. I don't recommend taking picks in 1 for 2 because they are not efficient bonuses, especially in 3 versus 3 full distribution RoR when it's 3 versus 3. Um, and also the thing that makes Krita a bit weak is the presence of Alexandria, which is a 1 for 1. So if you pick in Heraklion, often you will just get smashed first turn by Alexandria, and then you look kind of a fool. Sarmatia is not like a pick in any Magna bonus, and it's not a place you want to pick in. Same thing with Bosporanum, same thing with Taurica. The exception here is Colchis, because Colchis is a place that is very interesting. It's a place that often you will be able to get safe income, especially if you like start I don't know Simnia and you take Colchis on turn 1 and then you go Iberia for a +3. You have 10 income there if you add the base income of 5. So 5 base income plus 5 here, you have like, it gives you like a nice 5 income that is extremely safe because almost no one except fools will take Armenia and almost no one will take Cappadocia. And the thing that you can do with Colchis is also you can go down to Parta and you can counter my friend here, Parthian Empire, which I don't take almost never. But you have to cover it, and it makes a good backup pick for the guy that is in Parta. It would be nice if the guy in Parta is not the same guy that is in Colchis, and it's nice if the guy that is in Alexandria is not the same guy that is in Colchis nor Parta. So you have usually 3 different guys taking Alexandria, Parta, and Colchis. Um, I'm not a big fan of Magna Asia because first of all, it's extremely hard to make as a Magna bonus, but the thing is, it gives you like you can go to Macedonia, you can go to Africa, you can eventually go to Parta, but it kind of isolates you when you go too strong in Asia. Sure, you have like some nice plus twos, but like it's not really my cup of tea of taking that place too often. If I take, I will often take only one pick, and I really like Ankara because it's like in the center of the most popular place, which is kind of Turkey. And from Ankara, you can like counter Bithynia and Pontus. You can also go counter Lika Omum, which is extremely popular. And you know that here the south of Asia will almost never be taken anyways. So that's my take on Asia. In other circumstances, Asia could be extremely nice in other type of settings, but in the regular RoR, I don't like that much Asia. Um, and then you have Parta, which is like I said before, it's kind of like Spain, it's kind of like UK. You want to pick in it, but usually you don't want too much picks in it. Like if you end up with 3 picks in Parta, usually like you know that you are in trouble if you are facing a good opponent. Usually you want like picks, you want like maybe taking a pick elsewhere, a first pick like maybe in Roma, taking maybe Stesifan's second pick, and then picking like 3, 4, 5 not in Porta, and then you go back in Porta and you spam the picks in Porta. Are particularly I like Berta because you can go the very popular pick, you can counter it on turn 1 because often people will take Nizibis, which I don't know why people take that because it's not as good as Sirius, and usually I will take like, for example, I will take Roma pick 1, Stefan pick 2, maybe I don't know 2 picks in Germany, maybe a pick like in maybe France here, and then I will take maybe Stefan, Berta, Sirius. The fourth best pick, if you want to call it that way, that I like is Opus because it gives a central position in Porta and you can like counter almost all of the places with it. I'm not a big fan of Babylonia as early backup picks because like you can be trapped in the south. So I hope that you are making the difference between the early picks and the backup picks. Backup picks are extremely important because you will see often people that are new to this game not picking any enough picks. Like here you see in total you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 picks that will be distributed amongst the players. That means you will need a lot more than just 5 picks. You will need at least like maybe 12 picks. I would say to make sure that you can cover and have enough backups. So I'm just going to go through the picks of my team here. You can see here Scarlett. She went for the traditional Porta, Italy, Germany, which is a nice trio. Um, she picked. Let's see here our order of picks. She picked Stesiphon first, which is like a good thing to do so often because it gives a good central position in Porta. Personally, I prefer to take Roma first, but that's just my preference because I really want to have a place in Italy. And then she picked two picks in Germany. Like I said before, almost any combo can be good in Germany. And then you see here our fifth pick is Amelia. So if she gets her five first picks, she gets one spot in Italy or two. She gets two spots in Germany and she gets one spot in Porta, which is a very good thing. And you'll see that her picks 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they are all in Porta. Like I said before, like you need to have all your backups in a very popular region. In this case, it's Porta, because even though I don't like Porta as a place to expand in, you don't want to let the opponent get it because if they get Porta, it's quite damaging. But if they get Porta and then they go on taking Parthian Empire and Asia, well, then you are in big trouble. So let's see my other partner's picks. World Walker. He goes here Alexandria, Carthago, like I said before, the two most popular picks that are extremely strategic in Africa. And then he goes to Arsimoe, the combo that I was talking about, the Alexandria with Arsimoe combo that can be countered by Hydrax. And then he goes for the pick in Colchis. Like I said before, very safe income usually, and a place that can go El Porta if needed. I'm not a big fan of his fifth pick because if he loses Carthago, well, he cannot really make Africa superior. Well, I guess maybe he wants to get it so he can go counter Numidia if he needs to. So it's not a bad pick. And then you can see here, like I said before, like I said for Parta, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all in the Spain region. So if he loses Carthago, well, he will have a presence in Spain. And that's very important for us because we know that Spain is very popular. It's a place that you usually don't want to expand in, but you don't want the opponent to get that place. And you see here, let's see my picks. Um, I went first in Troesmis because I really wanted to have a pick there in case they go strong in Magna Macedonia, especially considering that we did not pick in Macedonia, so that's why I really wanted Troesmis. Then I picked Tarsatica, like I said before, very popular pick in Illyricum. Then I went for Bondigala as third pick in Aquitania. Like I said before, Aquitania can be very nice because you can go help with Spain if you need, and it's usually a safe +3. And you can also go annoy Lugnensis Prima if you need. Then I picked the very annoying pick of Ankira in Asia. It's very annoying because you can see all of the Turkey bonuses in the turn 1. And then I proceeded to pick, like I said before, I really want a presence in UK, but I don't want too much picks in it. So you'll see that picks 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all in the UK region. And as you can see, I went 5, 6 in Camulodunum and Caledonia Inferior because they are extremely popular picks. And I went with Darnini as 7th. You'll see what happened on turn 1. So unfortunately I didn't get Darnini, I got Caledonia Inferior. The red guy picked, he got like Alexandria, Camulodunum, Vespasiana. Like his picks were kind of interesting because he got 2+1s on turn 1 and he got the very nice Vespasiana pick. And his 2 picks in Spain were kind of useful, even though I'm not a really big fan of double picking in Spain unless it's like a +3. But overall, I like the Reds picks. So this is another aspect. Like we said before, the kindly noob. You have 2 kindly noobs on the team B. You have Orange, which he is playing not in a team because all his picks are like in the same region. They are all in Ely and Magna, Germania. So in terms of coverage, Team B is extremely poor because yeah, he's there, but he's already double teamed. Red is the only one that is trying to have like picks that gives him a lot of coverage. But the worst is probably the guy that went for Parta. He has 4 picks in it, but if we check his real picks, he had all his 5 first picks in it. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you can see no backup picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means when Scarlett got Stesiphon, she picked it first pick, so she got it. He picked it 4th, so he had no chance to get it. He got randomly a pick here in Tyrus, but we can see that the guy wanted all 5 picks in Parta. It just happens that he got Tyrus because it is a Pfizer pick. It is a random pick that he got because he didn't pick enough places. So just looking at this, you can see that the light blue guy will maybe, yes, sure, you will like get quick income from the top of Parta, but once he get that quick income, well, he doesn't have like much places to expand in. If he goes to Asia, I meet him there. If he goes to Armenia, he will meet World Walker. If he goes to bottom Parta, he will meet Scarlet. So, and here in Italy, well, Scarlet is like covering the north intensively, and World Walker is really covering intensively the south of his pick in Italy. So he's really trapped. The same thing in orange. You see how he's trapped? All of his picks are surrounded by our picks. You see Scarlet, she is in north of him, and I am directly right next to him in Ely. So if we advance the turn, let's see what happens. So yeah, the blue guy is not only like His picks were bad, but his decision here is bad too because he doesn't even take the +4 that he could have made. He doesn't even take the +2, so he does all kind of bad stuff. You see here the orange guy could have made Germanicia if he wanted, but for some reason he went for Armandury, so he tries to expend two bonuses at the same time, which is a big mistake. And the red guy, well, here he flees from me because he expected me to attack him in Vespasiana. He makes his +4 and he attacks Wordwalker here. So red is making kind of interesting decisions because he goes Londonium to check Lugnensis Prima. So afterwards, what happens? Red kills Wordwalker in Arsimoy. He, the orange guy was in at 7 income. He tries to kill me, but I have priority over him. It's something that probably he didn't even check in history if I have priority or he had priority. You see here light blue, yes, he makes that +4, but look at his position, how bad it is. Like Scarlet has 12, he has 11, but Scarlet is right next to his +4, and she is right next to his +2 that he could eventually make in Corsia and Sardinia. Orange position is very bad because with 2 picks in Germany he has no income. With 3 picks in Illyricum he has only the +2 of Istria, and you have nowhere else to expand. Compared to me, I have France, I have Asia to expand. I have those 2 places. If we compare to Scarlet, she has the whole Magna Italia to expand in. And if we compare to World Walker, well, he has most of Africa to expand in, and he have also Iberia if he wants. So let's go turn 3. So turn 3, you see that the light blue guy will really want to get Parta because like he invested 4 of his picks there, so he really wants to kill Scarlet. But Scarlet like have safe income here in Italy, and she have kind of safe income in Germany because the guy here is too busy fighting me and he has a very low income. So at this point, the only guy that is a threat to my team is Murphy 9, the red guy, because he was wise enough to take out Arsimoe, and he played kind of well here to have quick income in Spain, and he have a presence here in UK. So it's the only one that made good decisions so far. Here you'll see he abandons the north of UK because he probably thinks to himself, well, I have the south of it, so I don't care. I'm still here in Spain. I will try to get him out of Spain, and I will try to expand here in East Africa. That's what he was thinking. You see here in Illyricum, the guy is obviously he doesn't have a lot of skills because he expands in Dacia right next to Dacia Minor, which is almost always taken, and he just lets me break him in the +2 of Istria. And you see here his income is 5. He has been double teamed all game. He has nowhere to expand, so he's going to get killed very shortly. And the guy in Parta, well, like I said before, he's extremely persistent. He really wants to take out Scarlet, but Scarlet here have totally safe income. He's not even trying to get Corsia and Sardinia, so she can expand like very safely in Italy. So, and if we check Ward Walker, well, he has here the relatively safe place here in Africa. You have a very safe place here in Colchis and Iberia to expand. Um, then you'll see once again light blue tries to kill Scarlet, doesn't work, but Scarlet kills orange in Germany. She still expands in Italy. Um, at this point, like she has 16 income. The guy in Porta has 16 income, but like check his position, like all of his income could be threatened by Scarlet, and she can put all of her income against him, and she can break like +4 and a +2 on the next turn. And if we check orange, he has been taken out of Germany. Here he can do absolutely nothing in Dacia, and where he has income, well, he's not even attacking me with the stack that he has in Narona. So I'm just like expanding here safely in UK, I'm expanding in France. I could even expand in Asia if I want. Um, so red is like still expanding here. He's trying to take out the guy in Spain, obviously. But like at this point the game is over. There's no way Team B can do anything because the light blue guy will get destroyed completely in Porta. The guy that is in Illyricum, he has only 5 income. He cannot help his team anyway. And I have like no opponent except him. I would have someone in UK, but it's not for now. And if we check red's position is the strongest of the team B, but it's not that great because here he has like double border. And just give me a second. I will plug my headphones. Sorry for that quick interruption. So yeah, the red guy is like threatened here in the +4 of Lusitania. Um, his income in East Africa is kind of safe, but like he's facing still, he will soon face 2 opponents, and he has only 2 income more than Ward Walker, and Ward Walker can still expand here in West Africa. So let's see what happens here on turn 6. So turn 6, again, the guy in Porta is very persistent, very you really don't want to acknowledge that he's getting really killed. So he keeps trying to expand Porta as much as he can. Scarlet is like, whatever, I will just put all my income there and screw you around. For myself, well, I can still expand in France. I'm still expanding in the north of UK. I know that he was in Camulodunum because I lost my 5th pick in it, so I'm going after him. And I know I can still expand in Asia if I want. My position is extremely strong right now compared to any of them. Scarlet can eventually make Magna Britannia without any problem. And World Walker, well, he's expanding, like I said, West Africa. and he doesn't care that much about Spain because Spain, like, he can go back in Baleares, and that would be will really like put Spain in a bad situation, and I can go help from France to Spain if needed. If we go turn 7, so turn 7, you see here our income of team A, 22, 22, 24. If we check their income, 18, 11, and he has surrendered because like he saw that his 2 picks of Germany was killed. He saw that his 3 picks in Illyricum was just giving him 5 income per turn. So he probably said to himself, well, screw that. I cannot keep going on like that. The red guy, well, he's about to face Ward Walker here in Spain, and he can eventually face me if he keeps trying to save this game that is over. In East Africa, he's already against World Walker, but I could go from Asia to East Africa if I need. I can expand safely in Illyricum. Scarlet can expand safely in Magna Germania. She can expand safely in Magna Italia. She can totally destroy the blue guy in Parta. Like, if they would like be stubborn and they would continue to fight, the light blue guy would probably be at 5, and Scarlet would have like Parta, she would have Germany, she would have possibly Italy, I would have Illyricum, I would have UK, I would be probably in Pompeialo or Emporion, and Wardwalker would be in Baleares. And like we would take almost all the map if they would continue to go on too long. As you can see here, turn 8, red surrendered. He just saw that it was impossible. The light blue guy, well, he, like I said before, is extremely stubborn, but now I think it's the turn that he realized that he will not make Parta, and his picks were not that helpful. So if we go back to what I previously stated, the 4 first picks of each player on the same team are not in Spain, are not in Parta, and are not in Magna Britannia usually. Of course you can like come up with a different setting, but just keep in mind that usually you don't want too many picks in Spain, UK, and you don't want too many picks in Parta, but you want at least one pick. To go back to the popular places, you want often the cities: Alexandria, Carthago, Roma, Ctesiphon, and maybe even Camulodunum. You often want strategic places like Dacia Minor, Lugnensis Prima, even Carthaginiensis can be a strategic place. Carthago, extremely strategic. Alexandria, extremely strategic. The Berta and Siriusum picks are extremely practical in Parta as backups picks. You see here Colchis, like I said before, extremely nice to have safe income in that place. Ankira or Pontus are very nice in Asia, and often you want to pick in Magna Macedonia, but it's not essential. So you have also to consider coverage and the position of your teammates compared to you. If we check the East, you see that we can all help each other. Like you see Scarlet, me, Wardwalker, we are all somewhere in the east. You can see here in the middle we have picks also. You see that the south middle World Walker has 2 picks. In the middle of Italy, Scarlet has 2 picks. In the north of Germany, she has 2 picks, and I have 2 pick in Illyricum. And you can see also that the UK and Spain are covered also with 1 pick of World Walker in Spain, 1 pick of me in UK, and 1 pick of me in France. So that was my first part of picking in on Rise of Rome, full distribution, 3 versus 3, 5 picks of 5 with 5 income, so something that is extremely popular. I hope that it will help you with making future games, and see you next time.